I save a lot. My sister. But my savings have not even come to save me.
When I was growing up, if you ask him for money, he would say, go and pray. Go and ask God.
Wait, God wants to bring the money to you.
Girl, and that
They still
embracing.
bleach, but in a different way. You see them getting drips, using drugs, using different things.
What would you even think is the root of this problem?
African women are trying to embrace the Western culture because why do I want to have a light skin when I can maintain my black skin with my ori? Obviously, I really don't know why people, because that's stressful. It's even expensive. I want to use my money to buy cream when I can just rub ori and move on in life. Sometimes I will not even cream my body for weeks and nobody will know anything because I'm dark skin.
When you think of the woman that you're becoming, who exactly is your picture? Hi, my name is Joy Abia, and I'm your host and presenter here at the Femme Space. And with me today, I have Sai.
I am Saida Tekwaye, and I'm a member of the showcase team.
Hi, Sai. It's so lovely to have you here.
It's very nice to be here.
I love
really
it.
Nice to be here.
I love it. Thank you. The Femme Space is a show powered by Showcase Africa. And on Showcase Africa, the aim is to, like it says, showcase Africa, showcase the beauty, the culture, the lifestyle of everything that happens with people here in Africa. And so on the Femme Space, we are focused on inspiring, motivating, and, peculiar stories of African women across the continent. So I and Sai today will be talking about all of the things to expect on the Femme Space. And now, the first pillar we have on this show is identity and relationships. So this really is supposed to cover and, show the African woman who, what really defines us now in this generation, especially, So tell us, first of all, let's first get an introduction from you, right? Introduce yourself, be fun, anything that you feel we should know on the space.
I'm Seidat Ikpaye. Or I can also introduce myself as an Odufoa, Seidat Ikpaye Odufoa. That's my husband's name, when you're married.
Okay.
That's
yeah, so for what do you like to do for fun?
Okay, so I can do a lot of things, doing nothing at the same time. I like to sleep. Let's start from there. I like to sleep, but I also like to go out. I can't say I'm an introvert. And I can't say I'm an extrovert, but I can be an extrovert when I need to be. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
What do I do for fun?
Yeah.
I've not answered that question right.
Amazing. You've tried. You've tried.
Please just leave it at that.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to tell me or tell everyone what exactly, how, when you think of the woman that you are becoming, especially as an African woman, specifically from Nigeria too, right? So tell us, what do you count as your very significant story when it comes to being an African woman and the woman you intend to become in the future?
Okay. Now I still have to think over that again. But basically, I think work, my career, it's more of work and how I make money. I think the only thing that motivates me like this is money. So when you see me working so much, it's money. If you are paying me, don't worry. I'm there for you.
Okay.
So what motivates me as an African woman?
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that I get to work and make my own money. But I like spending other people's money too. But at least I can have my own money and save it, then spend other people's money.
When it comes to the woman I'm becoming, I believe one of the women I like to look up to, or I always mention as my pillars of, and it has just that's just actually been because I sat down through it this year. It's Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Okay.
And I sat down through it. I'm like, okay, why exactly do I really look up to this woman? And there was this day back in primary school when my dad, they asked us to come dressed as our mentors or come dressed as a woman that we really look up to. And my dad was like, you have to say Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And, I did not know anything about that.
And you didn't ask why?
I did not, I was still a child. Like, I was barely 10.
Okay.
But then now that I'm grown, I actually I sat through it this year and I was like, now this woman, she's still someone that was put in my head, by my own parents, but why do I still look up to her? And I, reflecting on, I just looked through, I did a lot of research on her life and I'm like, there's so much to be inspired by, especially because she's played a very crucial role in Nigeria's, trying to restructure Nigeria's, financial system, let me put it like that. That was during Obasanjo's time. So, and that was like one of the parts that I grew up thinking, oh yes, I'm definitely going to be in, life is still going on. I probably will still get there. But that was just I'm just looking at it and I'm like, impact is the core of who I am as an African woman and who I am as a Nigerian woman. And there's just so many examples of women to look up to. So do you have any woman that you look up to? You're an African woman. It can be anybody. If she's a singer, a pop artist, anybody.
I can't really think of any because I lose interest in people so easily. So I have a lot also, but at the same time, not really. I can't think of any, really. I can't.
Okay. So how about your mom? Can you tell us how your relationship from childhood really played a role in making your identity now?
Yeah, I can say childhood really played a serious role in my identity now because my mom is a calm person. I'm like the opposite of my mom.
Okay.
So I look at her, she's calm, she's loving, she's kind, and I see her being taken for granted most times. So I just don't want to be like that. So that's why most times I can be lousy, I can tell you what's on my mind, but really, I just don't want to. But at the same time, I love my mom. But I really do not want to be like her.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so is that shape? So would you say now because that you don't want to be like her?
I don't want to be like her. So that really shaped who I am now,
okay.
And I really like who I am now. I like who I'm becoming. I even like I love my future self. But in reality,
so I don't think you told us your future self. Do you want to go back into what that future is?
That future self that I'm thinking in my head. I don't think I can say it to you people. You would not believe me, but what I'm thinking in my head.
Okay.
You will see me in future.
Okay. So let's move on. The next one of the other pillars that we want to talk about that we have in here at the Femme Space is, money, ambition, and work, for the African woman. Okay. So, while we're still giving examples, I think for me, I have, although one person she's not African, but in terms of culture of work and, what's it called, ambition and everything, I really do look up to ladies although they're not very popular within the space, but, there's Asiami Gold and then Mrs. Ibukwan Woshika. I believe she's also a pastor too, right? I love how she carries herself in terms of, now speaking of Mrs. Ibukwan Woshika, right? She is a lady in finance and she's making huge strides. She's on different boards, across African companies, across Nigeria and the likes, right? So she just really inspires me on how to be a woman who knows how to balance everything, I think she does ministry. She's a pastor as well as,
family,
and
she own businesses.
She has her own platform, her own community she's managing. It's just so beautiful to see an African woman do the things that, that are just almost seem like they're impossible, especially if you grew up in a home where there are not many examples for you to draw from. Maybe mostly traumatic experiences is what we had to face. And now I feel like now I had to, in terms of looking forward to looking at her as an example, as a mentor, has actually taught me all the things that I need to know, right? And I feel like that's actually going to be part of the things that the Femme Space is going to do for a lot of women. You've not seen a good example all your life, maybe, or there are just certain ambitions you want to follow, but you've not heard enough stories or to really to relate to and know that, okay, this has happened to me, but I can be better. And now that is really what this space is about. So, speaking of like ambition, work, career, right? What has that trajectory been for you? I mean, we're already drawing from the fact that you said you wanna like your identity. There's an identity shift. You don't want to really be like your mom, and taking from that. So in terms of ambition, career, money, how has that been for you? Like, let's even start with. Did you have any money traumas as a woman?
I think as a kid, I did as a kid. And for that reason, I really did not want to grow up having any money trauma. So I work for my money and I save a lot. My sister. But my savings have not even come to save me because I don't need the help now. But actually, yeah, so as a kid growing up, I actually had few money traumas, and I just know that I don't want to depend on anybody for money. At least I want to have my money. I really do not want to depend on anybody for money.
Okay, so okay.
So that way it makes me work really hard to get mine.
Personally, I've had money trauma. Like, I've had to unlearn and then relearn like a lot of rules about money, right? Because like, I just grew. I don't even know where I drew the lesson from. Whether it's from my dad or it's from my mom. But as like what I'm just saying, that it's all of that from the home, especially with the fact that now there's one thing my dad used to say a lot when I was growing up. If you ask him for money, he would say, "Go and pray. Go and ask God."
Wait, God wants to bring the money to you,
girl, and that actually shaped a lot. Like, from a child, it's like, okay, now I need money. But that there are things to do about the money.
Wait, sorry, I'm curious though.
Okay.
How did that shape you? Because thinking, if my dad is always telling me to go and ask God, I'll just be in one church praying for money. I don't know, but I just feel like I'll be in one church just praying for God, praying to God for money.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it did. It actually did a lot to my. It did. I would say it did a lot too in terms of my like mindset towards money. Right.
Okay.
I did take my relationship with God very seriously. However, I did not like the part where you're supposed to play in terms of money management, in terms of actually even being in a space like knowing your worth as a woman to even earn a lot more.
Okay.
Those things weren't exactly taught to me.
Okay.
I had to sit down, which is why I said relearn, unlearn, and all of those things. But at first, that was really what it was. It was like, okay, if I'm asking my dad for money, say I should ask God. So that's the first person I'm going to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Though you pray.
Yeah, you're praying for money, but not that wasn't like the thing is I can be an extremist. So in sense that I could be praying so hard, but working even as hard, to make sure that everything is making sense, but. And I feel like that even a lot of African women were like people were stereotyped like a lot of African and Nigerian women with prayer and church.
Yeah, of course.
Let's talk about that. Like why do you even think that's the case?
I feel like because most of our mothers they're just in church. Because they are used to it. They don't have so much. They don't have so much they are doing. So what else? Take care of your children and go to church. Go and pray for your children and husband. I think that's what happens, but regardless, most of them don't work. I think that's basically it. They don't work. So if you don't have anything you are doing, you face God now. I pray for your wife, your children and husband. I think that's it.
Religion has actually really shaped. It's actually a huge part of who women like we are, especially in Africa and being from Nigeria as well. it's really shaped a lot, and I'm grateful for it, honestly. And I think that it's it plays a huge role in actually bringing us out of like terrible mindsets, that have actually set us back
How does
for.
those stop us from having witches in our family?
Oh, definitely it doesn't.
Okay.
It definitely doesn't. But if everything is done the right way, there's always a right way to do something,
Yeah.
So if it is done the right way, I believe, from my own personal experience, that all of that, the culture of religion, or let's just say our God culture. Religion is very, I don't know the word to put, but like, let's just say that actually, it bred a lot of things in me, and I would say that it has actually shaped a lot of us. Some people, like some of our, let's just say our mothers back then, what they only knew, okay, do cook in the kitchen, and when you're done cooking, a man will come and marry you, and then he provides, he does it, and then the economy, and then all of them, you start this and everything, and then the economy gets really bad. The woman doesn't really have so much work experience. She doesn't even know so much about work, and then now that's money. Now the beginning, and then we also have the part. There's also another extreme where some men are so core, like they're heavily in that provider mindset that they don't even want to be transparent about money problems, and stuff like that. And so what else does the woman have? Even if she has a community, the community is always a huge part of an African woman. And then even though she has that, she also has, that God is also the next person, like the next next person she runs to. But I think that that's actually beautiful. But in terms of, ambition, career, money, so what would you say, like, would you think we recommend to bring on the show for stuff like that?
I can't think of anybody, please.
Okay.
I really can't think of anybody.
I mean, like I said before, I think even though that would be a huge feat.
Where do you want to say?
I didn't say Dr. No, I didn't say how. I said I would love to see.
You love to.
I'd love to see people like Shode at this part, but her name is Mrs. Madam Shola. I'm sure she's like a personal finance coach and everything. She has done a lot. Like, she has a lot of, stories that inspire the African woman in terms of doing money and doing career and ambition, right? And that's actually one of the persons I would love to see on the show in the future. So we're manifesting. So the other pillar that we have that would love to actually also discuss, we bring people to discuss about, would be the pillar of beauty and self-expression, right? The beauty standards that we have nowadays. Let us talk about that.
Hey, sister.
Now, what's the name? I mean, there's just a trend of a lot of things going around. I feel like we're out of the era where there was the trend of bleaching. We're out of that era. Where like a lot more women are embracing.
They still bleach, but in a different way. You see them getting drips, people get drips to get lighter, using drugs, using different things.
What would you even think is the root of this problem?
I think African women are trying to embrace the Western culture. Thank you, the Western culture. Because why do I want to have a light skin when I can maintain my black skin with my ori? Obviously, I really don't know why people, because that's stressful. It's even expensive. I want to use my money to buy cream when I can just rub Oreo and move on in life. Sometimes I will not even cream my body for weeks and nobody will know anything because I'm dark skin. It's just that my body will be dry and that's it. So
okay. I mean, like, one of the issues which I heard someone in the studio mention is actually also low self-esteem.
Yeah,
I mean that's actually the core of most of the issues of when it comes to beauty, and all of those standards, because now everybody, you're probably you're doing this because you want to be accepted by somebody, or you want to be accepted into a society, like a different clique of women that are maybe getting the attention or getting the money. It's always, there's always a point of view of why people do these things. Now, there is also the issues of, should I say it?
Say it, please.
Should I say it?
Did I drum for you?
Should I say
Okay. Please say it.
The Brazilian butt lifts. Yeah. Let's talk. Well, honestly, I don't judge. I do not judge anybody. If your body is your body, do what you will with that body.
Yeah, I judge.
All right. So I wants to judge you. So
I
go
judge.
ahead.
Please, but you people, why? Why? Sometimes you just see some people, and the thing is that they don't do the thing properly now. Because you see the ass like this, and you see the leg looking like toothpick, and you be like, but why now? No, that's really. Why do you have to do that to yourself? Please, you people should stop it. Let's stop that. Please.
So I said you guys
Please,
should stop.
let's stop it.
Anyway, so there's that, and then there is, in terms of there's also like, the normal things, like being too, maybe some people just don't feel like they're too slim, or they are too fat, or they just don't fit into some certain like cultural definitions. And I wonder where all of these things is coming from, because the natural African, like the normal African woman, we have a natural endowment when it comes to body. Like, I've not seen it in any other culture outside in this world apart from Africa. God has really blessed us with beauty, and I would forever still be grateful to be an African woman in my next life, and this is we are also going to open up the space for people to just bring these kinds of conversations back. I'm not saying I don't judge, but if we can bring that's what space.
But
this
really,
space
you don't
is for.
judge.
Hold on now. Let me say what I'm saying. So I'm saying, when we need to bring back spaces like this where it's safe to speak about these things and speak about them openly, and ask people. Like, we can even bring up people that will come and tell us why they got it.
Yeah.
And tell us what, like, if there's the advantages and the disadvantages, to enlighten the other generation.
Yeah.
Which, even though if you tell them like this,
Don't worry, when
everybody
people
will
come, I
still
won't judge that time. I'll try not to
anyway,
judge.
so that's the kind of space for this. And the last, one of the other, I think the last pillars, we have 4 major pillars, and the last pillar is, the pillar of where we're talking femininity, rest, and spirituality, which I think we almost already covered. How the role spirituality plays in, helping women embrace rest. I feel like, what the hustle culture is like, right? Like, a lot of women get lost into the hustle culture. Let me even give you guys a story. So, right, one of the major lessons in my life is where there was a time where I was hustling big back to back, right? And I was just, because I had so much knowledge on a lot of things, and I had so much exposure to people that were like doing big things, and I was like at a very young age, I was ready to keep pushing. So I sort of lost, I'd say, I did not even know how to, that did a lot to me as being a feminine woman, if that makes sense, right? Because now you're trying to do, work on the same strength that a man may be working. Meanwhile, that's not.
How many siblings do you have, though?
I have about 5 siblings.
And how many boys?
All boys. I'm the only girl.
Okay, so
yeah,
you're allowed to be like that.
yeah. So yeah, like, that was how it was. But there was a certain event that happened to me, and even one of the core things that happened to me this year was I learned a lot more about myself, and especially being like the qualities of being a woman, which is something that we should not be saying like, learning about myself as a woman, because these are things you should know from birth, you wake up, your mother should be teaching you these things. But the first thing you're seeing is, the first thing I was exposed to was I wouldn't say it's the first thing I was exposed to, but let's just say, just in the earlier years of my youth, like that. That's the first thing you're seeing. You're out of school, and the first thing, you're just around a lot of people who are hustling, and I just used to be a lot around like men who were doing all of those things, and I was like, yeah, this is my chance to get very successful very fast. But that's not how it works, girls. Like, it's not like that. You're a woman for a reason, and once you embrace your feminine qualities and your femininity and how that plays a role in your purpose in life, it's easier for you to do everything: career, do relationships, do family, do like the balance that we're talking about is found when you understand who you really are, embrace your rest, and walk in your God-given abilities. But yeah, let's hear from Sai in terms of this femininity, rest, spirituality. Like, have you actually ever been caught up in hustle culture?
I believe that since I've been a teenager, I have been caught up in the hustle culture. So I'm the first child of my family. So
Pause.
Okay.
First daughters. Let's just clap for ourselves.
Please clap for me. Clap for me.
Let's clap for all the first daughters. You deserve the biggest awards in life. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm the first daughter and child of my family, and so I saw a lot of things that were wrong, and I wanted to correct them. I have a younger sister, and trust me, every single thing I didn't get, I get from my younger sister. Every single thing I could not just do or get as a child. To the extent that sometimes God said, those aunties that I did not have courage to be rude to, she had the courage to be rude to them because of me.
I understand.
Basically,
do you think you're still...
I've always been an Ozula, and I'm still an Ozula. I did buy your this was the party. Everyone was rich.
Interesting. So tell us how many businesses you've actually done in your whole life. Me, I think I've done up to... I've done everything.
Are you sure
I've done
you want
real
me
estate.
to?
I've done forex. I've done it all.
I've done a lot of things. So see, I can tell you I'm a certified beauty therapist.
Ooh.
This is third year.
Okay.
I'm an interior designer. In fact, I'm everything.
I understand.
I'm everything. In fact, if you want to buy or sell anything, still call me. I'm here. Anything that's making me money, I'm there. That's just it.
I love that. So, so are you, so which means, but did that do a lot to your, like, in terms of your presentation, just being, you're being a woman, just like embracing softness and embracing, rest. How was that? Like, did that do a lot to your heart, your mind? Yeah,
it actually did. It actually did. I just had to call myself back to just balance these things.
And how did you even get there? How did you call yourself? What was that?
I was always stressed. I was always tired. And in reality, what is in this life, God said?
Really?
I'll give myself me.
No.
But regardless, I just had to call myself back, and it's been great. At least now I know when I'm tired and when I need to rest.
Amazing. Yes, like that's a huge testimony, because I feel like I think this is also one thing that people say, right? That I don't want, whether it's a culture or something like that. Most systems are built around, right? Where it's like, some women still find it hard to take, just like maybe on your first day of your period, where that's actually very, it's very painful for a lot of women. And there's still some organizations that don't let
for that. There should be a public holiday for that.
There's still some organizations that do not even excuse that kind of, that kind of thing, because what do you mean we're working, and those are the kind of systems we're saying that we think that have been built around, how men work. Men, like they say, they're testosterone. It's a hard word to pronounce, forgive me, but that hormone is renewed every day, and they have the strength to do life as though they are doing it for the first time every day. However, for a woman, it's so, I mean, I would say it's beautiful because your cycle tells you a lot about what you should be doing every time of the month, right? Like on the first week of your cycle, you're probably just calm, you're just a little bit fatigued.
Yeah.
But then the second week, which is like, the what they call that phase now. There's the luteal phase before your period where like, oh my god, your body's about to, it's getting ready for a baby or something like that. It's just that. Then when the period comes, it's another set of headaches, hormones, and all of that. Yeah, and then after your period, that's when you're now rejuvenated and again, and then there's ovulation where your body. There's so much to go. There's so much happening in your body as a woman in your cycle, and understanding that does a lot to you, helps you understand when to take your breaks and when to be intentionally resting. And I think I love that about being a woman. So thank you so much, Sai, for helping us break the ice on the Femme Space. And we are looking forward to hosting a lot more women who are passionate about, their stories and sharing and inspiring other young women in this generation. So, Sai, do you have any final words for anyone who's watching?
Just be yourself. That's it. Just be yourself. You don't have to do so much. You don't have to please anyone. Just be yourself.
I love that. Be yourself. Don't be too much of yourself, but be yourself.
You can't be too much of yourself.
Be yourself
please.
all the way and embrace your feminine energy. So thank you so much for watching us on the space, the introduction into the Femme Space. If this is a call to you, if you'd like to be on this space to share your own story and you feel like you have unique perspectives to doing life as an African woman, Nigerian woman, in any aspect at all, business, relationship, family, spirituality, anything at all, please do reach out to us on IG or drop a comment and we'll reach out to you. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Joy Abia and it was lovely hosting you on this space. See you in the next episode.
Bye.